Hi, this is Greg in Pensacola, Florida. I'd like to welcome you to my YouTube channel. Tonight, I'd like to talk to you about a Kickstarter campaign by Aaron Askerdahl, and it's called the WarLayer 3D Printable Terrain Kickstarter. If you're a subscriber to this channel, you know I show tons of terrain. You know I'm a war gamer. I play War Machine, and I've also started playing Warhammer 40K. And so, like any gamer, you know, if you're playing World War II, if you're playing sci-fi, if you're playing fantasy, you were looking for something to put on your table and something that's unique. So I came across this Kickstarter while it was a recommendation off the Kickstarter page. And I was like, oh, neat. And so I went and looked at it, and I said, that's nice looking terrain. And then I went and looked at the pledges. And at the time, the top pledge is only $20. And I said, that is insane. I'm in. Even if it's a few pieces I can use, stuff looks great from the renders, you know. So I added it and I pledged my $20, and time went on, and I got an update in the email that Andrew had done a video update. So I went over to the channel, I watched the video update, and at that time, yeah, he had printed examples up, and I really got a good look at the Kickstarter at that point, and this stuff looked really good. And I'm like, man, that's nice. So I left a comment in the video, said stuff looks great. Can't wait till the campaign ends so I can get my hands on it and put it on my table. Well, one message led to a reply, led to me replying to Andrew, and then the next thing I know, you know, we're talking, and I say, hey, I've got a YouTube channel. I do review some of the terrain that I print and to just talk about 3D printing in general, and he sent me a couple files. And so what you look in front of you are actual prints from the last 72 hours that I have cranked out of my printer. It's not all the files of the Kickstarter. I just grabbed and I slammed as much as I could onto the 8x10 inch print bed on my Maker Gear M2 and printed as much as I could before tonight recording this video. So what this Kickstarter, he got this Kickstarter because he plays Warhammer 40K also. And so he started designing this terrain, and he does have a Thingiverse page. Now, if you've been with this channel from the beginning, you've probably seen this model, the Millennium Falcon. This is the very first thing I printed on my Maker Gear M2 after I printed the included vase file to test your printer, was this. Guess who made this model on Thingiverse? That's got 11,000 collections on it in other people's collections right now. This is Andrew's Askerdahl's stuff. So I'm going to put a link to his Thingiverse page so you can get this model, and you can actually, I think there's one WarLayer wall model out there that you can download also. But the reason I wanted to show this is it was $20, and now there's a $40 pledge also because we're doing some of the stretch goals, and the $40 pledge is for a, how did he name it without using Games Workshop's name? It's Combat Zone. So it's going to be a tabletop, like an interior of a space station, and you can move around. It's just not for Warhammer 40K. You can use this stuff for Star Wars RPG. I'm sure you can use this stuff for Infinity. Yeah, you can use it, you know, in any sci-fi setting. I don't know. I'm drawing a blank on different, more sci-fi settings. So, but for me, I'm getting it to put on a 40K table. I've got a bunch of terrain out there now. I find a bunch of stuff on Thingiverse. I'll show that in my videos going down. But this stuff right here for the price is absolutely phenomenal. I want to show you a little bit how he's got this, how he has designed some of the pieces. So these pieces right here, these are not, you know, these are good chunky pieces. These are not, I have to print 12 of these to get this, you know, building to put on the table. I print this once, and then now you've got the modular setting. So let me move some of this stuff right here. Can you see that? Yeah. So he's got pieces that can go on here. So if I want a floor that I can put on my top of my tower, I put the floor on there. Let's say I want the wall on top of my tower. I take this and it slocks right down onto the tower. If I want a wall on this side, I can put a wall there. If I want stairs coming off the other side, that's what this is over here. It also has a bridge. So if I want to go from one piece to another, I can put this on top. I can basically slot that in, I could take another one of these and I could lock it in the back. And now I can start putting my guys, these are scouts from Warhammer 40K, and I can put them right up on top. On the other, let's say on the other side, it's closed off, you know, so I could put this right here, like that. I could take this, and guess what? It slides right down over the top. So now you see how this goes. So let's say I want to go higher vertical. I can take this off. I can move these. I can bring this over here so you can see it. Pop this off. Take my extenders. Click them in the front. Click one in the back. Take this, put it right on top. At this point, I can take these stairs. These stairs will lock right down in here. Onto here also. They come in just like this. So this will sit down on top of these stairs. You can also run your bridges across. Now these bridges are going to come in multiple sizes. This is the short bridge with no railings. And as I'm talking, I'm going to start throwing up different pictures from off the Kickstarter webpage so you can see some of the other stuff. But there's a bridge that's twice this long. And then let's say if you wanted to go a real long way, like all the way off the screen here, you can do a double bridge. Then there'll be a tower that comes up underneath that supports that bridge and goes across. His last video shows this, and so I'll make sure I link to his YouTube channel. I'll link to the Kickstarter page. I'll link to the Thingiverse page, and then you'll be able to see it. So there's going to be multiple styles of this tower. I just printed out 2 on there, so I probably should have printed one with no doors on the bottom, but right here is a ladder. You can just clip this right on the front, and now you've got a ladder. What I was showing you before was this right here, and this clips on there, and your gaming figs fit on it with no trouble at all. So if I want to put the floor back on here, it's right there. Got a Terminator Captain up top. You know, the other guys, yeah, they're sitting there. So if you can see, this is scaled right if you're a 40K player. This is scaled correctly if you're a Star Wars player. Infinity figures are going to fit on this terrain just fine also. Those are probably the 3 big sci-fi games with miniatures that you're going to put on a tabletop like this. So there's doors. He's got doors that will go into each one of these openings right here. Oops. You can tell I haven't shot a video in a while because I'm not showing the stuff on the screen. So you're going to have doors that are going to fit in here, and so you can block off certain directions. What I like about this terrain is the vertical height that I'm going to be able to get on my table. So I'm going to be able to go 2 high, you know, maybe 3 high, but most likely 2 high. I'll put some type of cover on the top. Or he just did a platform today where we can put weapon systems up on top. And then we're going to have bridges that are going to go all across this table. So not only are we going to be fighting on the ground floor, we're also going to be fighting up here. The nice thing about this Kickstarter, big pieces. You know, we print them out. You can throw them in a box. These are big, chunky. I don't need to print 50 items to get one building on there. I can print this out and I can have it on the table tomorrow. It's modular. You saw how quick I changed out, you know, basically going from this floor to, you know, and start snapping into barricades. I can drop a ladder on this side. I can put a bridge off this side, you know, so I'm not stuck with the configuration of terrain and I have to glue it together. That's probably the biggest thing that's changed in the last year in the terms of these gaming Kickstarters is the availability for this stuff to be modular. Being able to set it up, take it down, reconfigure it. Because there'd be nothing where I have to print one of these for every type of configuration when I want. When the game's over, I take it apart, I organize all the pieces by piece type. The next time me and the fellas get together to play 40K, I pull it out and we make a brand new table. Yes, the terrain may be similar, on there, but the configuration that I have can be different for every game. I may not have any double layers the second game. I may have, no catwalks on there. So in addition to multiple tower types, like I said, I'm going to flash pictures up that show each pledge level. There's a $5 pledge, there's a $10 pledge, there's a $20 pledge, and then a $40 pledge. So the $40 one was put at the end so we could help get to the $5,000 stretch goal. This Kickstarter is already funded, so it's going to close out in 6 days, and we're all going to get this terrain. I just wanted to throw this up onto the screen so you guys could actually see real printed pieces. And so him and I have been talking the last couple days on there. I had a couple questions on a couple pieces that he's going to look at, but other than that, I mean, all this stuff came off my printer. This is big, thick, all of it's printed at 0.2 millimeter. I own a Maker Gear M2. And so if you've seen my other videos on the channel, I just print and print and print. So I've been printing for basically the last 3 days just to get a variety of stuff so I could put it here. This stuff came from the last pledge. And so what's neat with these generators is I saw the file when it came in, and they were about an inch long. I think they're for the, let me get the name of that again. The Combat Zone Pledge. That was the $20 later pledge goal that we could get. And so they were on there about an inch big, and I got them. I'm like, oh man, this is great scatter terrain. So I increased it by 1,000% out of the file, and that's what this is right here. And then I increased a couple by 750%. So this is great scatter terrain on the board because that is a 40K Rhino. So that'll give you an idea of scale, between there. So they're your 1,000%, and then your 750%. I think they mix well on there. I wouldn't pick one over the other, but I will print a variety of this size right here because this is good because you can, you're going to get cover. That's also going to be blocking terrain for your Terminator size guys, and your scouts and things like that can sit down there. But there's still room that they can sit right on top of this terrain too. So it's not, they got the little pieces on top, where someone, if they wanted to get up on it. So this is neat. This comes out of the Combat Zone pledge level. And there's a whole bunch more to that. That's a brand new pledge. Like I said, that came in late in the campaign. So this is just the first file from it that I've gotten, just to preview it out. And I thought it was pretty neat, so I just blew it up. The next thing, put this stuff down, is weapon systems. So there's a couple different weapon systems here. So this right here, when these print just like this. So when your print bed's done, and I'll slap a picture up that shows what it looks like on the Maker Gear because I printed all this stuff together, it's just like that. So you take it off your print bed, you give it a little twist, and now it free moves, just like that. And then you can take it off. So basically you could put this in here, and either glue it, or you could fabricate something that's, like an ammo crate so it sits down on it. But for these, I would probably glue the angle myself on there. And then he also did, it's the same base that the other gun has right here. So again, it prints the same exact way, just like this, but he put some different weapon options on here. So he put the gun that's like right there. So this one you can magnetize, but it's also pretty cheap to print this. So you could print 3 of these and 1 each of these, and then glue them on there too. So he put the and these are your anti-air. Then he put the giant assault cannon or heavy assault cannon on there, and then he also has a rocket launcher right here, and all these will just fit right there in the end. So it's your option to glue or magnetize them, and it gives you some variety again on the weapons. And what he made today that he sent me in the email is it's a platform for the top of the buildings where these are going to be able to sit and go. So, that's also going to be part of this campaign too. So basically, I just wanted to get this out here. I'll throw some pictures up after I'm done talking, but I wanted you to be able to see this neat Kickstarter. that's got a tremendous buy-in, that's got some fantastic designs, that's ready to go pretty much 30 days after the campaign's done. At least the beginning pledge levels are, because it's sitting right here in front of me. To me, these are all ready to go. I had one question on one piece on there, so I'm just waiting on an answer for that. I might have been doing something wrong. Like the very first time I went to put it together, I didn't even see these slots underneath the wall. So, I just dropped them in like that. And I was like, okay. But no, they click right down in there. So everything clicks in. These bridges, they sit in these grooves right here, like this. So it's neat. There's a lot going on here. There's a mining station. There is let's talk about the $5 pledge level is a radio tower. And right here with the magic of YouTube, it should show a picture or two of the radio tower pledge. It's like I said, that's $5. You cannot buy in any wargaming site a tower like that for $5. I've got a resin radio tower. It's out in a box in my garage that I ordered from a caster in the UK from back in 2009, 2010, and I'll tell you right now, it was a lot more than $5. You got the $10 pledge level, which is the orbital strike station. And so what it looks like we got here is we got a landing pad and stuff like that. The big thing I asked him is I want to be able to put my Storm Talons. I want landing pads for my Storm Talons, because for me, 40K is a very cinematic game. I love the picture that I get in my head when I play this game. So, and this terrain is just going to really help that along. I've showed the pictures of some of the stuff to my gaming group, and they love the look of it on there. So our tables are getting better and better with better terrain, and it's turning out to be almost all 3D printed. Now, hills and stuff like that, if I'm going to make a hill that you're going to climb over, it's still cheaper to take some polystyrene, some pink or blue foam that you get from Home Depot or Lowe's, and put that together. But this right here, this is the $20 levels where you start getting this stuff. And there's 4 variations of these towers, not just 2. There may be more tower variations. The $5,000 pledge goal, I'm not sure what all comes in that. He's got 3 tower variations, I think. I'm not sure if that's this or if that's the top of the towers or something like that. I don't know. I don't care. I'm going to print the heck out of it, whatever it is, and put it on the table. But just wanted you guys to see. There's 6 days to go. If you like this type of stuff, if you play any sci-fi RPGs or tabletop war games, jump on this. Even if you don't do the Zone Mortalis, type level or, similar board at the end, jump in there at the $20 level and get all this stuff right here, because you can never have enough terrain. You can never have enough terrain variety. And I think supporting Andrew at this level, he can take these next steps and these next Kickstarters and stuff like that. So don't forget, that's the guy that created this right here. So I asked him a couple questions. While we were emailing back and forth. He works at MakerBot. He has 2 replicators. He has a replicator mini. He has 2 replicator 2s, a replicator mini, and a replicator 5th gen at his house. So he's been doing this for a while. The guys that he played with, he made this for his gaming table, and they thought it'd be a good idea to kickstart it, so that's what he did. And there are hundreds of hours that go into this design. Not just this one piece, but, across the table, across this Kickstarter, that's where I want to end up, is to be able to do something like this. It doesn't have to be a Kickstarter, but I want to, in my head, think this up, design, put it on the table on there. That's truly where you end up after you've had your 3D printer for a while. You print tons of other people's stuff, and then you start tinkering around. You grab Tinkercad, you grab Fusion 360. I'm starting to dabble around in ZBrush a little bit on there. So it's fun on there. Seeing this stuff right here, I mean, it's great. This is really great stuff. So support the Kickstarter. If you come in after the Kickstarter, follow the Kickstarter, because I asked him if you're going to be able to get this train later, and I think he's going to be able to try and set it up so he can sell you the STL files. Because remember, when all the other 3D printing, Kickstarters like Printable Scenery, Dragon Lock, and stuff like that, you're buying the STL files. It's up to you to get them printed. Whether you have a printer or you have a buddy with a printer or you hire somebody to print your files for you. He's pretty sure he's going to set up a web store. So if this is after the campaign and the campaign's over, go to the web store and see if you can get it. But the campaign ends in 6 days, and I think we're looking at delivery in April for the first set of files. So he's really good, and he's going along fine on there. So, I'm rambling on, but it's great stuff. So let Andrew know. I'm going to link you to his Facebook page. Not Facebook, but his YouTube page. Go subscribe to his channel. You can see the updates. You can see the progress from the campaign launch till now on his weekly updates. And you can keep abreast of when the web store is going to go live. Is there going to be another Kickstarter? I think with the success of this one, that he's funded really well, that he would do at least as good as he's done right now, if not 2 to 3 times as good. Because once your name starts getting out there, you're going to get that following. Like I said, I'm a backer. I didn't get paid to do this. I'm not getting anything free. We just talked about it. He shot me a few files to print out. I cranked them out on my printer really quick, and I'm as excited as everybody else to spend my $40 and get these files in April and beyond on there. So I appreciate you watching. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I do Made on My Maker Gear videos. I do tons of other printing. That's where he sent me an email and laughed because he was watching some of my old videos and saw me talk about this. And being this was the first thing I printed, I said, this is still sitting on my desk, right next to my TV on there. So that's the first thing I printed, and that was 16 months ago when I got my printer. So subscribe to the channel. I got a lot of content coming out. I took a break for a little bit because I had a killer accounting class I had to finish up, but that is over. I'm just on regular classes now, which is not a big deal. And I'm going to get back on the video train. So appreciate you watching. Subscribe, like the video, and I'll see you soon. Thanks.